Yeah. So how much experience you are having in total?
I have total 4.6 plus.
4.6 plus years of experience. Okay. Okay. So we will start with Spring. So what is IOC in
Yeah.
Spring?
I think it's nothing but your container and all, so which manages your beans and all. Suppose you are creating some beans with the help of different annotations, and at the time of class loading or at the time of your this application is loading, it creates all the beans inside that particular container, and it with help of dependency injection, and it maintains the scope of that particular container. So that work it does.
Okay. So what are the different ways to inject the dependency?
Different ways to inject the dependencies.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use annotations. You can use this XML files and all. You can use in XML files. You can write bean ID, class name, that kind of thing. But annotation is better to use. You can use different annotations, components, kind of service, repository, and all control. And in that way, you can do. And if you wanted to use this dependencies, I mean, that bean which is been already created inside ISC container, you can use this auto add keyword to fetch that. Yeah.
So what type of dependency injection you have used? Like, have you used annotation based or XML based?
Annotation base I have used. Annotation.
Okay. So what is auto add annotation?
Auto add is nothing but a class which is built in functionality with this Spring framework. It does nothing but creates your object internally. So that it, I mean, fetches your object internally. So that work it does. Suppose you have one Pujo class and you have defined it as bean. Maybe you can use a class level bean or a method level bean. Like suppose you are using a class, like you are writing component and something over there, and that again with the help of that component, it will create internally bean for you inside, and then auto add keyword can just do one thing like write like suppose employee, add that auto add, then down your employee and reference of that particular employee. So it will internally fetches your this bean from your ISC container. So that work it does.
Okay. What is Spring Boot actuator? Have you used it?
Yeah, I guess one of the microservices I've used as Spring Boot actuator is nothing but it provides you the facility. I mean, earlier you may be knowing that we were working on this microservices, and for our health check, we were creating explicit this method for that, and one specific endpoint which was getting hit by again by this API gateway and all to check whether that particular application is running or not. So it gives us status like 200, so that we can understand, yeah, it is up and running. So that work internally provided by this actuator kind of thing. So you just have to define your dependency and no need to write anything. It internally works for you and with the default URL. So that kind of work it does.
What are the different advantages of using Spring Boot?
The personally I which like is like dependency management. So first of all, I mean, if you know about the Spring framework and all, so whenever we were creating any web applications or like maybe any microservices and all, so lots of dependency we were listing out over there. If you're using this form.xml, you have to write 3 or 4 lines of code for one particular dependencies. You'll be writing artifact ID kind of things. And if suppose if you are using Gradle kind of things, you have to again write 1 line of code for that particular dependency. You have to define your version inside your extension block. So kind of lots of dependency we were injecting into that particular files. But with the Spring Boot, suppose you just have to use one dependency. Suppose if you wanted to create any web application or microservices, just go for starters. Like web starter, you can go for if you are using some testing and all, Spring testing and all. You can go for test starter kind of thing. So it reduces your code into that particular file and also manages that dependency for you. So you just have to write 1 line of code. All the dependencies related to that particular kind of project will get downloaded for you. Yeah. So that's the first one thing I which like most about this.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. So what is REST controller annotation?
Please come again. I'm sorry.
REST controller annotation. Have you worked with REST application?
Yeah. Yes, yes. I am mostly working to that only. So REST. nothing but a combination of your controller and the response body. So earlier, what it was like, you need to define your at the rate controller on top of your controller class, and then for every method, or maybe you can use there only at that response body, and you define that response type and all. So in this, with the help of this latest at that REST controller, you don't have to worry about that response body and all. You just define that it will include both of the things. It will do work of both the things, like at that controller and response body. You have to just define at that REST control. And suppose if you wanted to give a specific kind of this response for every mappings inside your controller, then you at that point of time you should go with this kind of approach, like at that controller and every at that different response for different methods. But if you are using the same, like mostly we do in microservices kind of things, only JSON we mostly we use deal with the JSON,
Okay.
so there we can easily go for that at that REST control. Yeah,
So, like you have also experience in microservices architecture, right?
perfect, perfect.
Yeah. So, do you find any disadvantage of using microservices?
Yeah, I have find. I mean, one of the applications there was. I mean, suppose I'll give one real time example. There was one requirement from client, and that client was saying that they don't have complete requirement at that point of time. But you can start with a POC and all. And we started with this REST kind of technology, and then we came to know all. I mean, sorry, I'm really sorry. It is very. I mean, just one a standalone kind of thing. So it was not suitable for that microservices on services kind of technology. Yeah, but suppose you should always go for this microservices kind of technology when you are having big business problem. Okay, and that big business problem can be chunked into small problems. Okay, let me give you one small example. Like, now suppose you have this L&T organization. Okay, and definitely in L&T organization you will be having different departments which are communicating with each other, like employee department, like employee welfare department, HR department, account department. So these are interrelated with each other, but still they are independent body in each that. Okay, in this kind of model, you can go for microservices. You can design microservices for all the departments, and you can communicate with each other microservices with the help of your REST template and all, and you can provide the information whatever you require. So that what you should use kind of this kind of things.
Okay. So, how we are managing profiling in microservices architecture?
Yeah, so one of the ways you use different YAML files for that, or maybe properties file if you're using. So suppose you will be getting that stage from your environment variables from your, or maybe AWS platform or something, or maybe you can stay inside your CI/CD pipeline. So you can have like different files like dev.yaml or prod.yaml, test.yaml. So at the a point of time, I mean, whenever it is getting deployed, maybe on test, production, or dev, that profile get used by automatically by that particular stage, which is with that stage it is contained. So that it helps you, so you don't have to go again and again change in your properties file and deploy on different platforms. So there it is very useful.
Okay. Coming back to collection framework, what type of
Mhm.
collections you have used till now?
I have used mostly we use Hashmap kind of things, then we use list and all, then sometimes set. Rarely we use this linked list and queue and all. So I have hands-on on all this kind of connections. So, but mostly in the model which we are working is like a kind of IPR of IPR projects. Like you have one object inside, you have different objects. So mostly we use this one Hashmap and all. Yeah.
What is the use of generics in collection?
Use of generics in collections.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not recalling the theory right now, but the generic in the sense, I mean, mostly what we do, I mean, you can create some generic functions which can allow you all types of object and perform some business logic over there and can give you output. Like
No, no,
mostly we
not
do it for
generic.
validations kind of thing.
Okay, so I'm not. It is not much related to theory actually. But if you are creating a
Mm.
map, hash map, or any collection, array list, anything, so you give something in those angle bracket.
Right, right. That's what we call as
Okay, so
parameters. Sorry.
yeah, so what is the purpose of giving something like some class name in the those angle bracket?
Mhm.
You understood?
I mean, it defines your yeah, I got your point. So it defines your type of object you are creating. You're getting list with the list with the integer. It defines that okay, it is belonging to integer kind of thing. Suppose if you're getting list of employees, then it says it tells you that okay, it is a employee a list of employees kind of object. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I want to hear. Okay.
Maybe sometimes we could not relate easily with the terms like generic and all, but usually you
Uh,
do in development. Yeah.
okay. So what is the difference between array list and linked list? And when you will use array list over linked list?
Um, for this, we I mean mostly we use this array list for searching kind of things, and whenever you just wanted to perform modification kind of things at the time of iteration and all, you should go for this linked list and all because it is faster over there for modification. But yeah, for searching, I mean this for your searching and this processing kind of thing, mostly we use this array list. And if you know prior to that, you are just going to iterate that and have some conditions over there, but you're not going to modify actual list kind of things. Definitely you should go for array list.
Okay. Okay. So do you know what is how Hashmap works internally?
So yeah. So suppose I mean yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
saying
How
something.
Hashmap? No, no, no. I'm not saying. You can
Okay.
continue.
Okay. So yeah, got that. Okay. So first of all, as soon as you are creating your object inside any, maybe suppose inside your main method, you are creating object with a hash map like hash map key and value pair, then some new object is equal to new hash map. I mean, by the line you are writing this particular line, it creates your hash table internally inside your heap memory area. Okay. So inside your you hash table, what do you have? You have 16 buckets inside that particular map. Okay, so each bucket contains one node. We call it as one node. It is nothing but a linked list again there. So whenever you are putting some values, like suppose hm dot put any like ID like one comma Mukesh, then it creates one object for you and it go internally and calculate hash code for you for that particular ID. And that hash code it matches with the bucket which is having inside that particular hash table. And suppose if it is matching with the bucket number 4, it just simply takes it then put that particular object in bucket number 4. Okay, again suppose you were doing like this what we say, suppose you are creating like hm dot put 1 comma Suresh, then sorry 2 comma Suresh, again it will calculate hash code for you and it will put some another bit node number, maybe node number 9 or something. Suppose if you are creating, I mean, one more condition is there, we should always consider these things. I mean, if you're providing any null key in your hash map, definitely it's going to be on top of your hash table. That is your zeroth index. You can, I mean, it will automatically be stored in the into your zeroth index. So that kind of things it does.
Okay. So do you have experience with Spring MVC or knowledge maybe?
Little, yeah, little bit I have worked on. I mean, earlier of my studies, I have worked on one or two web applications. So there I have used this one, but it's
Okay.
very long back. Yeah, I mean, you can ask question. I'll try to answer that.
Okay. So can you tell me the flow of MVC, Spring MVC?
Okay, so first of all, you are making some request. Okay, that request your goes to web.xml file. I guess yeah, there's a web.xml file. In that web.xml file, you have dispatcher and all, and again you will come to your this controller part. I mean, after that completing that process, you'll be coming to your controller. That controller will go to your service level, blah blah blah, and from there you'll be getting a response back to your controller level, and from there you'll be using this view resolver kind of things. Then view resolver will go to your spring.xml file. There you'll be having prefix and suffix. Suppose you just wanted to return with the .jsp file or some other .jsp kind of thing, so that you can define inside your spring.xml file like prefix and suffix. Like prefix is your, I mean, nothing but your place where you are storing this .jsp file and all. You have that particular package name, and suffix is nothing but the type of this type of view you are returning. Suppose mostly we did with the .jsp, so we write as like .jsp there, and then again it gives you that particular resolver. It calls that particular resolver with the help of dispatcher servlet, and it points to that particular resolver, and then you can have that JSP file in front of you with the data you requested. Yeah, so that kind of work it does.
Okay, so if you want to change the directory of your JS files or your HTML files,
Mm-hmm.
so what changes you will do in configuration?
Oh, first of all, I will go into spring.xml file, and there this prefix I'll change, and definitely I'll move all the files which was having earlier in that another just what to say, another package. I'll move those files into my package depending upon requirements. If you have new packages and you don't want the older one, you can left it there, and you can just point your prefix spring.xml file to that particular package.
Okay. Okay, so what type of databases you have used till now?
I have worked with the Oracle, MySQL, and DynamoDB as well.
Okay. You have to write down a query. So can you please share your screen and open Notepad?
Yes, perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen. So you have to write down a query like I
Mm-hmm.
have a table with employees, and there is a column full name.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to find out the list of the employees which has Kumar as a middle name or Kumar anywhere in the name.
Okay. So you have employee which is having ID and the full name. Okay. Okay, fine. Then let me the comma employee where where we have I don't remember, do we have any contents and all something? Or maybe like this
Sorry.
uh, full name. Yeah, I was just talking to myself only. Sorry about that. Like we have this kind of things. Maybe if I'm remembering the syntax right way, I guess it should work.
No, it won't work.
Will not work.
Yeah,
Let me
because
give
you are
another try.
using
Maybe
equal operator. No, no,
sorry.
you can't
That
use
dot
equals or double equals because if you want to search exact term, then you have to use
hmm,
equal. Have you heard about like?
dot contains is there or
No,
having.
I think you can use like
Oh, that's good. That's good.
full name like.
Where full name like yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we forgot this syntax and all. Yeah.
Okay, no issues. Okay, you can unshare your screen.
Yeah.
I think
From where we can unshare.
uh,
Stop sharing.
we are
But
running of time, but like how can you tell me how garbage collection is done in Java?
yeah, garbage collection is nothing but it is a process which is being used for your memory management. Mostly it saves your memory. Suppose I mean it's a daemon thread. Daemon process, so it works always in backend. So I mean if you try to do explicitly, it is up to JVM whether to run that particular GC method or not. But yeah, I mean suppose I mean it can occur in the condition. Suppose you are creating one object and you are nullifying that help of equal to null, that time it is eligible for garbage collection. And suppose if you are creating two objects and you are giving one object reference to another one, again this is the one more case which is eligible for your garbage collection kind of
Okay,
things.
okay, yeah, that's
And
fine.
garbage collection your finalize is
Uh,
being called. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So have you used like have you worked with Java 8
Yes.
Stream API?
Yes.
So I have a list and I want to filter out. Uh, I want to
Mhm.
filter out the names which has Kumar. same que- Same question.
Again.
So yeah,
Perfect.
I want
Perfect.
like to filter out the list, collect. I mean I have a array list or any list. Uh, I want to
Yeah.
create a stream and then I want to like get collect the values which has only which has Kumar in the anywhere in the name,
Got it.
and collect it into the list. So you can share your screen and start writing down.
Yeah. Perfect. So suppose you have list and your stream. Sorry, what said? Stream dot filter. Inside that you will be having suppose your it is a list of then a dot uh, name and dot you can use contains over there your Kumar then like dot uh, collectors class then collect and then your to list over there. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Full?
I can see your screen.
Yeah.
So this dot name is a method.
I mean, suppose this is a your employee object, and inside that you have that name as a variables, and then your employee dot name of that particular or get name. You can take it as get name.
Yeah, yeah. You
So
should
like that
use
you can do.
standard standard protocol. So for getter method, you should use get name so that it will be like for all the
Get,
developer, it
yeah,
will be known that this is the getter method. Another thing is
yeah.
collectors
Actually,
dot
I just
list.
used to, yeah.
Another thing is collectors
Mhm.
dot collect to list. So is that collectors an object?
Collector is a class which is having this collect method inside that particular class.
Okay. So is there anything you can like correct in this?
Maybe some syntax issues there. You can also use map if you want to do that.
Okay, so
But
yeah, so one thing you can correct, like
yeah.
after this filter method, you have to use collect
Mhm.
method, and inside that you need to give collectors dot to list. So collector is a class
Oh,
which
sorry,
is
sorry.
having to list method, and uh, that you will pass in collect method of stream API.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
Got it? Yeah, so I
Yeah, I
think we
got
are
that.
running out of time. It was nice talking to you, Mukesh. Do you have any questions
Yeah.
for me?
At this point of time, I mean, already you late, so I don't have any question. Maybe we can discuss some earlier time. I mean, later.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, bye.
I mean, should I drop from here? Maybe some other another candidate is going to join, right?
Yeah, 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 definitely.
Thanks. Bye bye. Nice
Bye.
talking to you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Yeah. Bye bye.